Basics 10. Basically the same quiz as Basics 9. Nothing too special about it. So we're supposed to solve for x. I would 6 both sides. It's just a technique you use to eliminate fractions. A lot of you guys are not adapting to that though. If you 6 the left, the 6's cancel. You're left with twice a 2x minus 4 equal to a 30. You do the distributive property, which you've been doing since 7th grade. You'll get 4x minus 8 is 30. We'll add 8. 4x is 38. And then we'll divide by 4. We'll have 38 over 4. Sorry, that doesn't look like an 8. I wrote a 4 for some reason. Those are both even. You should get 19 halves. Assuming I'm doing everything right. Pretty shot today. All right, 2 is absolute value. Start off the same way I started on the first one. I'm going to triple both sides. I do that to eliminate the division of 3. Cancellation. 4 absolute values of 2x minus 3 must be greater than 21 minus 3x because of the distributive property. Why 1 and 4 juniors can't do that is beyond me. It's taught early. Distribute again. You can distribute that 4 to the interior. The absolute value of 8x minus 12 is now greater than 21 take away 3x. Now you can write 2 equations. 8x minus 12 is greater than 21 minus 3x, or negative 8x plus 12 is greater than 21 minus 3x. It's one of the two, okay? I'm just going to go back and make sure my work is right before I move on, because I am known to make mistakes. I don't see anything wrong with it. To solve this one, I would add 3x to 8x, giving me 11x. I would add 12 to 21. That should give me 33. I would divide by 11, and I'd get that x is greater than 3. Sweet. The other one, I would also add a negative 3x. That would give me negative 5x. I would take 12 away from 21. That should give me a 9. And I would divide by a negative 5. And when you divide by a negative, you flip the inequality symbol. Negative 9/5. And there's my 2 answers. I'm either more than 3 or I'm less than negative 9/5. I would probably have this multiple select, and I would probably have it written something along the lines of this guy being 3 to infinity, and this guy being negative infinity to 9/5. That's probably how I'd do it. I don't know. I might just leave it as inequalities. Solve volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. That's the volume of a sphere, if you're curious, for r. So I'm going to do this a little bit. 2 steps actually. Actually, it would be 3 steps and everything is said and done. But to eliminate this 4/3, I multiply both sides by 3/4. So I'd have 4/3 pi r cubed times 3 over 4. The reason I'm doing that is because of that cancellation. All right, so 3/4 of v equals pi r cubed. Now, by the way, that can be written as 3v over 4. I hope you get that. You can put the 4 in the denominator. So let me rewrite it like that. 3v over 4 equals pi r cubed. I'm going to divide by pi, which means I'm going to throw a pi over here. Rewrite that as 3v over 4 pi is r cubed. And you don't have to take this one too terribly far. The opposite of cubing is cube rooting. So I'm going to take the cubed root of 3v over 4 pi. That would be equal to the cubed root of r cubed. And we're not yet ready for the lesson on how to simplify this. So this is where we're going to stop with this. You don't have to take it any farther than that for now, okay? It can be worked farther. It can be. And it possibly should be. But I'm not going to take it any farther than that today. I would say 20% of you guys couldn't FOIL last time. Shame on you. I shouldn't say that. I'm supposed to be positive. Here's another opportunity to fix it, right? 3x times 6x is 18x squared. 3x times negative 7 minus 21x. That's how hard that part is. Negative 5 times 6x minus 30x. Negative times the negative is positive. 5 times 7 is 35. Combine like terms. There was at least 5 individuals who somehow tried to solve that thing for x last time. You can't do that. You don't know what it's equal to. It's not an equation. It's a FOIL. That's all it is. If you don't know how to FOIL and my instruction's not doing it for you, go on YouTube. You have YouTube. So given f of x is 3x squared minus 7, g of x is 5x minus 5, find f over g of negative 3. And I'll tell you what that's equivalent to. It's equivalent to figuring out what f of negative 3 is and dividing it by g of negative 3. So to find f of negative 3, everywhere I see an x in f, I replace it with a negative 3. And to find g of negative 3, everywhere I see an x in g, I replace it with a negative 3. It's not that hard. It is easy to make sign mistakes. A negative 3 squared is 9. 3 times 9 is 27, so 27 minus 7. 5 times a negative 3 is negative 15. A lot of you guys were very careless about this on the last quiz. All right, 27 minus 7 is 20. Negative 15 minus 5 is negative 20. And this amazingly ended up being negative 1 when everything was said and done. Pure luck, it came out to be a whole number. Usually when you make stuff up, it comes out to be fractions. And I'm going to check my work. And I'm okay with it. 6 is average rate of change on the interval. So we use our little average rate of change formula, f of b, take away f of a over a minus, sorry, not a minus b, b minus a, same direction. Here's a, here's b. This is the one I screwed up when I was doing the twin for the test. Anyways, find f of b. F of b is going to be a 5 squared minus 4 times 5. These usually come out to be whole numbers. It's because I'm not giving you anything with fractions out front. That's going to be 25 minus 20, which is 5. And I'm going to find f of a, which I find by plugging in a negative 2. This is where kids have a tendency to make mistakes. This is going to be a negative 2 squared, which is 4. Then I'm going to add 8. And that's going to be 12. And I'm going to go back and double check. 25 minus 20 is 5. If I plug in a negative 2, that's 4 plus 8, which is 12. Cool, I'm good with that. So it was f of b, which was 5, take away f of a, which was 12, over b minus a, 5 minus a negative 2. So 5 minus 12 is a negative 7. 5 minus a negative 2 is a positive 7, and we get negative 1. 7. Find the equation of a line that passes through the points negative 2, 5, and 5, 8, written in slope-intercept form. So I'll find my slope first. 8 minus 5 over 5 take away a negative 2. 8 minus 5 is 3. 5 take away negative 2 is 7. So my slope is 3/7. Now I'm just going to throw that point away. I'm going to use point slope form, which the vast majority of you know. Y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. A couple of you don't. Probably 25–30% of you don't. That's what's keeping you from getting these. That's just going to keep hurting. So hurry up and figure it out. We're going to take away the 5. Here's where my m goes. It's 3/7. X take away a negative 2. I'll go ahead and clean it up on the next line. Taking away a negative is addition. I invoke the distributive property. Hopefully most of you guys are actually skipping past this part of the video at this point in time. You should know how to do this. 2 times 3/7 is going to be 6/7. And we're going to add 5. All right. I know that 5 times 7 is 35. So 35 over 7 must be 5. Okay, that's kind of how we do these things. So y is 3/7 of x plus 6/7 plus 35/7. And then I can add 6 and 35 together. So 3/7 of x plus 41/7, which doesn't reduce. And hopefully it's correct. Let's focus that for you. All right. up top, ACT problems. How many prime numbers are there between 0 and 35? Just write them down. I hope when you guys take the ACT, there is an actual question on there about prime numbers. It's hit and miss. All right, so prime number divisible by itself and one only. All right, 0 is not prime. 1 is part of the definition. 2 is prime. 3 is prime. 5 is prime. 7 is prime. Why isn't 6 prime? It's divisible by 3. Why isn't 8 prime? It's divisible by 4. All right, next prime numbers 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31. Be tempted to say 33, but it's divisible by 3. That should be it. So I'm going to scan back over my list, see if I didn't miss anything. My gut says there's probably 11 total. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 primes. Now I can think of a couple of kids at home that won't draw that down. They'll just write 11 primes. You miss it on the test. I know who you are. Write it down. Write all of it down. Quit saying you're trying when you're not. You're doing the least amount possible, and you don't like the fact that your least amount and my least amount aren't the same thing. Not even ridiculously close to each other. This is the class that you have to work your butt off in if you want a passing grade. 3 robots are completing a task. Robot 1 can complete the task in 1 hour. Task in 1 hour. Robot 2 in 4. Robot 3 in 3 if they work together. All right, so it takes robot 1 1 hour to complete the job, 1 to 1. It takes robot 2 4 hours. It can do a quarter of the job per hour X. It takes robot 3 3 hours. It can do a third of the total job X per hour. And together, you add them all together, you get the entire job 1. So I look at this and I think that the LCD is 12. So I'm going to 12 the whole thing because that's the smallest thing that 4 and 3 enter. Invoke my distributive property to everything. That doesn't break balance, by the way. 12x plus 3x plus 4x is 12. Looks like there's 19 x's on the right, on the left, if I can talk. So 19x is 12, and x is going to be 12/19 of an hour. This is going to be the last one I do before I actually go take my lunch break. Find the value of k such that the determinant of the matrix containing -5, 3, 10, k is 5. So the rule on this is for a matrix that contains A, B, C, D, its determinant is AD minus CB. So -5 times k minus 10 times 3 must equal the known value of 5. That's the deal. -5k minus 30 is 5. We add 30. We divide by 5, and we get that the k value is -7. And once again, I'm going to tell you, if you're a blind copier and you know whether you are or not, grab another one of these. Do it on your own after you watch the video. See how much of this stuff you remember, and just keep doing that until you get it. There is no reason in this class that you can't learn the content if you dedicate enough time to it. No reason.